Tasty.
Good afternoon, everyone. Wesley Sorce, host of the Tucson Tasty Show. Super excited about the lineup today. We're gonna have a lot of fun with Sal from Tirrito Farms and the brewery, which is awesome. And then we have Cody Peck making a guest appearance back into the station after a month.
No,
I mean, it's been like
like
6 weeks ago. I don't know. But excited to have you here today. We're gonna get some updates on Knife Fight and where we're gonna be at next week, as well as tips and tricks in the kitchen. And we're gonna talk about a few other things. And then we're also gonna have Mexico in a Bottle. Mexico in a Bottle is a event that's happening up in Phoenix. They're calling into the show to tell us a little bit more about that. What do you think?
that sounds good.
Yeah.
Mexico in a bottle.
Mexico in a Bottle.
Now, do
Have
I
you
get
ever
the
been to
hot
that?
Mexico, or do I get the nice beachy Mexico? Depends on the bottle.
Oh boy, there we go. All right. And yep, we'll go live on the station here in 3 minutes. And if you want to call in and be part of the show, please do. It's 520-790-2040. And you can ask any question of Sal that relates to the farm or the brewery or Network Outdoors with Cody Peck or I don't know. We'll figure out the questions as we
Just
go.
want us to let you know if your life is good or not, too. I mean, whatever you want.
Sure. We all know what your answer to that question is. But yeah, no, it's gonna be a fun time. We went out to Nightfall, a little back behind the scenes stuff. We actually went out to Nightfall
Did
for
you
the
meet the
no, Nightfall. We obviously don't know what Nightfall is, so we gotta fix that. Nightfall is at Old Tucson Studios. Have you ever been out to Nightfall?
I know it's slaughterhouses.
Oh,
I've
fun.
been, it's been probably about at least 15 years.
Fair enough. Well, the new lineup with the new owners is going to be incredible. I'm really excited about the food. They have hand tossed pizza with brisket on it, and that was good. What'd you think of it, Erilyn?
Was good. I like the pizza. The turkey leg was actually really good.
The turkey leg was good. They had smoked turkey legs with the mesquite smoked. We'll talk about that a little bit. And if you don't have your medallion, you might be taken over by the Queen of the Queen of Demons or the Queen of Nightfall. Mary Hyde is back. She was killed off a couple of years ago. She hung out in hell for a while, and now she's back, and she's the Queen of Demons. It's quite the story.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing. But I was glad that I had my medallion because like the audience got taken over. People in the audience
You just
jumped
happened
up.
to sit next to one
Yeah, you did.
of all the places we could have sat.
And yeah, no, it was exciting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got to go out there. I'm going to be out there on opening night. If you want to hang out with the Tucson Tasty Show, come out opening night. That's September 27th. Tickets are on sale now. You can actually get unlimited, unrestricted passes for only $69.99. And that's for the Yule thing or Yule market that they do out there as well as Nightfall, with no blackout dates. So you can go as many times as you want. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Is it kid friendly?
There are parts that are kid friendly. They have mini golf and they have the safety part. So if you don't, no scare zone as they call it. But there are definitely some more adult scares for you this year. Yeah, I was pretty sure the queen is definitely a redhead. She's quite evil. So we'll see how that goes. Yes. Yes.
Problem. Now it's a problem again.
For the Tucson Tasty Show with fresh cuts by your host, Wesley Sorce.
Yummy, yummy, yummy. I got love in my tummy and I feel like I'm loving you.
Welcome to the Tucson Tasty Show. I'm your host, Wesley Sorce, and we're here in studio today, live with all of our amazing guests. We have Sal Tirrito of Tirrito Farms. We will have Susan Cross of Mexico in a Bottle. We have our resident guest co-host in the studio, Cody of Network Outdoors. That's Cody Peck.
Welcome back.
Welcome.
Cody Peck.
Yeah, welcome back, Cody Peck. Thank you, Cody. And we're going to be, it's going to be a fun show. So this show would not be possible without our amazing sponsors, and that is Vera Earl Premium Beef, your financial guy, Cody Peck, Network Outdoors, Local First Arizona, Legra Marketing, Print and Mail. Don't forget to subscribe and share for everybody that's out in social media land with YouTube or Facebook. If you have a comment, please drop it in or a question, drop it in the comment box, and we'll read it over there and answer it for you. So, Cody.
So, Wes.
You have some tri-tip from Vera Earl Premium Beef that you're going to be cooking up tomorrow.
Yes, we are. We are going to go over to the Marriott with the family and enjoy the pools and other stuff, and then come back home and cook some tri-tip.
So I have a question with that. Are you doing any kind of a brine, whether it be dry brine or wet brine with that?
No, I've never really brined a tri-tip before. However, I have done dry rub.
Yeah, well, dry rub with enough. Well, you're pre-seasoning it, right?
Yes.
It's already seasoned. It's been sitting in seasoning for the last 3 days, right? No, okay.
I've never have.
And then you have
done that too much. Besides, I have done that though, but my go-to is more of a throw on a dry rub with. I mean, Vera Earl, it really doesn't. I don't think it needs a brine. It doesn't. It just needs some dry rub on it, and
it's got that umami flavor that you really are missing with all the other beef, and definitely, it's beef that tastes like beef. I don't know if you've had Sal's here on mic with us. How you doing today?
Good.
Good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Have you ever had the Vera Earl Premium Beef?
Uh-uh.
It's amazing. You got to check it out. VeraEarlPremiumBeef.com. You can even get a subscription box, and it's actually the Vera Earl Premium Beef Tasty Show box, and they'll deliver it right out to your door. It's only $99. You get 5 pounds of ground beef. You get 2 cuts, surprise cuts. You get 2 surprises for the grill, as well as a beef jerky or beef snack. The sticks, and what's amazing about them is that they're made for Vera Earl, and there's like 5 ingredients in them. It's not like these other beef snacks that are shelf stable.
Yesterday
they did. I know I reposted it as well, but they're not shelf stable until year 3000, which is amazing. And they're really good, right? I mean, they have the crisp, but I've seen people actually put them in Bloody Marys and all kinds of stuff. It's next level good. It really is, and not just because they're an amazing sponsor of the Tucson Tasty Show, but you can check that out at vepremiumbeef.com or go to thetastyshow.com and look under shop, and there's a link right out to their website as well.
Yep.
So
I can't wait to taste the tri-tip. I haven't had the tri-tip yet, so I know it'll be good.
I have. It's incredible. It's really good. You're in for a surprise.
They're nice 3-pounders too.
If you weren't all the way to Phoenix for me, I would be over at your house as well. I live closer to Tirrito Farms than I do your house, I think. But
you're just on the wrong side of town.
No, I'm on the right side of town. You're on the wrong side of town. Maybe. This is where we landed. We had to be close enough to family that we're right between family. So we have family out in Tirrito. We have family out on the east side of Tucson. So
why'd you go on that side of town?
Because we're 20 minutes from both of them.
Why not be an hour? No,
we like our family, maybe a little bit, just a little bit. But anyway, so with your preparation of the tri-tip, you're pre-seasoned it, and you're going to be smoking it for all day, or?
No, I won't smoke it the whole day. I'll throw it on for a little bit for the smoke and then finish it off since we're going to be gone the whole day. So it's going to be kind of a smoke it for a little bit and then toss it in the oven for a little bit of a low cook and then come back and grab it.
Fair enough.
And I mean, the dry rub for it, I mean, salt, some kosher salt, black pepper,
And that's all you need.
pepper, and some garlic, and you're good to go.
Fair. Awesome. Well, we're looking forward to that. And, a couple things that you can see see us at over the next couple weeks is going to be you got to come to meet the chefs at the TCC on the 25th. You got to get your tickets now. For more information, check out thetastyshow.com, and you can also check Google Iron Chef at Tucson. Go right to their website and get those tickets. They have a great lineup actually this year, and I'm excited to see who comes out on top because Ken Floy is actually defending his going for his third title. So is somebody going to topple him, or is he going to be a reigning champ and retired? Because there's only been one other chef that's won 3 years in a row, and that's the max. Then the retired Iron Chef.
You know what they should do? They should give him like a 50-pound iron ore. That's like your trophy to carry.
Right, and you have to carry it everywhere you go. Right? Yeah.
There you go. Iron Chef at Tucson. You got to get your workout
chef.
also.
Yeah, fair. That's a different kind of iron chef, but yeah. So with that being said, we also have let's see, the 27th we have the Good Food Forum. If you don't have your tickets for the Good Food Forum yet, that one's going to be a lot of fun, and you can check out the tastyshow.com and find out more about that. That's actually all about connecting restaurants to local sources. Is Tirrito Farms going to be out there?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure. Fair enough. Well, hopefully we'll see you out there because it's going to be an amazing event. And yeah. So we have a few minutes left in the first segment here.
Are we doing tips in the kitchen?
Sure. Go ahead. What's your tip of the week?
My tip of the week? Great. Now
sharp knives.
Sharp knives are always good.
Yes.
Yeah. Just don't cut your fingers off.
Right. Well, you're more likely to cut your fingers off with a dull knife than a sharp knife. I just want to point that out. And your knives were pretty dull. And it took me 4 hours, I think, on that one knife. But I hand honed it back down to where
that wasn't my knife. So I was like, oh, here, take these ones that someone else never sharpened. So enjoy. Tip in the kitchen. Let's think on that. Ooh, let's do like a baking tip.
Do you have a tip for the kitchen? What would be the one thing that you always have in the kitchen, Sal?
Just always wash your hands before you start and right when you're finished.
I like that. I actually do like that a lot. I wash my hands multiple times while I'm cooking because whether I'm handling raw meat or not, I don't want to have that cross contamination, right? So that's a really good. There you go.
There you go.
And that's the cardiologist in me also. We do a lot of hand washing.
Well, thank you for that. But yeah.
Well, if you're baking and you put a cloth that is wet and wrap the outside of the pan, it'll help make your cake more level when you bake it. FYI.
Okay.
I never quite understood the sign in every bathroom in every restaurant that says employees must wash their hands. We refuse to put it in. We feel it's a given.
Interesting. Well, I do like that, but that's a health code recommendation or not recommendation, requirement. So, but yeah, no, that's actually a fun fact. You go into restaurants and stuff like that, and employees back in the day, they would save time, go back in the kitchen, wash their hands. Well, then you have this perception of somebody in the kitchen not washing their hands because you didn't see them wash their hands after they used the restroom. So they had to change that in the industry, and just perception, if nothing else, because you want to see the staff washing their hands.
When I started in medicine, the doctors used to smoke during surgery, and the nurses would hold the ashtrays.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. We've come a long way.
Yes, you have. That's. I don't know if I have anything for that.
I mean, it's really hard to believe today.
Doctors are the number one smokers, though.
Yeah. I was watching an old commercial, and when I say old commercial from the '90s, it's not that old. And they were talking about having a beer roadie or a roadie beer or whatever, beer in the car after
Right.
work and stuff. And no drinking in the car law came out, and there was people complaining about it. Next, the government's gonna, we have to wear our seatbelts, and or we can't drink while we're driving anymore, and
Unless you live in New Orleans.
we have to put our kids in car seats. I mean, what a travesty. Being safe, right? And our kids wonder how we survived growing up.
I know.
But here we are. So we're going to go ahead and go into our first break, and we're going to have more great questions for Sal from Tirrito Farms. I'm Wesley Sorce, your host of the Tucson Tasty Show. We'll be right back. Special thank you to our sponsors: Viral Premium Beef, Your Financial Guide, Cody Peck, Network Outdoors, Local First Arizona, Allegra Marketing, Print and Mail, and of course, Stay Tasty Tucson. Fun times. So 90-second break. It's not a big deal thing, but we're still live on YouTube and Facebook. Oh, what's your favorite place to eat in Tucson?
Depends on what type of food. Zio Pepe for pizza. I like Tatarino for pasta.
I'm excited that congratulations to Chef Danny Sanner. Devin Sanner. You're right. It's Chef Devin Sanner of Zio Pepe. He's now the new executive chef over at Ventana at the Lodge at Ventana. Yeah. We're excited about that one. Very excited about that one. He's well earned. But Matt is firmly stationary in the kitchen at Zio Pepe. So
he wants to come out and do a restaurant takeover for us. Like come out and
nice. That would be cool.
Yeah.
That would be cool to do with the gut too.
Yeah, we do a lot of, you do tap takeovers all the time, but like it's very rare to do like right. But I thought it was a great idea. He told me about it. Like he's like, why don't we do that? I'm like, yeah, okay.
Tell him a date and get it on the schedule. Let us know.
Yeah.
We're happy to support that. Yeah. No, that would be exciting. Danny Perez from the Sands Club has has been talking about doing that at the Sands Club, actually. All right.
Be the voice.
Yummy, yummy, yummy. I got love in my tummy, and I feel like I'm loving you.
Welcome back to the Tucson Tasty Show. I'm your host, Wesley Sorce, and we're here with Sal Tirrito from Tirrito Farms, and we have Cody Peck here in studio, and fun break. If you want to check us out on the breaks, we still have the conversations going on Facebook and YouTube, and all you have to do is go to you can go to the YouTube. That's the Tasty Show 520, and if you want to if you have
like, subscribe, dislike, comment, emoji,
like, subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe, then comment, and then we'll get right back now. But we do have a question from it looks like YouTube, and thank you, LC Patrick. I think I know who that is. Does Sal have a favorite Tirrito Farms wine and cheese combo that's their very own?
Yes. So we're actually a relatively new vineyard. We just had our first wine harvest last year. So right now we only have our whites and 2 rosés available. That, and we make a Camembert. We make a Camembert, which is awesome. Okay. And that's all made on site. So Camembert is like a brie. It's just a smaller wheel. Mm-hmm. But it really is. It's a great cheese. It really is just brie, but a smaller wheel. That paired with a rosé or a white wine is excellent.
Perfect. And then, so I hope that helps or answer your question. Leslie of Laramida Cellars, thank you for that question. All right. So I think you might know Leslie.
Hi, Leslie.
Yes. Thank you for watching and thank you for the question. Now, cultural fusion, how do you blend the different culinary traditions in your dishes, and what's been the most surprising combination food you've tried?
Well, so we really have over the last, so we've been over for 2 years, and we really just have kind of first been all over the place with our menu, and now we really are at a place where we've just really have an amazing kitchen staff. We really do. And what we've done is really just focused on really kind of traditional American, style. We do a lot of steak. As a cardiologist, I'm kind of horrified by the amount of steaks and alcohol I sell at a night. But again,
I was going to ask about that, but
it really is.
I was told not to.
No, it's okay. Sometimes I wake up I joke with my patients. I'm like, God, I'm the worst cardiologist in the world. I own a dairy. We sell a lot of wine and steaks, but everything in moderation. The one thing I've learned being a cardiologist, when I first started in cardiology, I was a raw vegan. And that's a tough lifestyle. Yes. And I've been a cardiologist 20 years, and I used to be called the nuts and berries doctor.
Okay.
And I've really come a long way, and just really kind of understanding that, you got to live your life, and you can still do those things, just don't do them every day.
I like that. That is good.
And plus, my wife, she's from Mexico, so her standard is a lot more meat. So it's definitely, and she credits herself with changing my thinking.
Okay.
All
right.
Nice. So tell us a little bit more about Tirrito Farms. So I'm not too familiar with you guys in the brewery.
So we opened in 2022. We started with a lot of classic styles. We kind of opened our brewery right at the time when people were doing a lot of IPAs, and we just felt it was kind of getting overdone. So we really focused on classic beers like Pilsner, Helles Lager. Okay. And so we really made a name for ourselves with lagers. And we do brew IPAs, but we just took a more traditional approach, and we actually name our beers after the style. We keep it very simple. So our, milk stout's called Milk Stout, or Hefeweizen calls Hefeweizen.
Oh, perfect.
And we just keep it simple, and we distribute all over Arizona, and we make some really quality brews.
With are you doing the brewing?
Oh God, no. No. I've brewed, and so the idea was, so we started as a dairy, and then we're like, well, let's, we had all these grapevines, but I've never been a wine person. I've brewed beer for years. And I'm like, why don't we open a microbrewery in the middle of a wine country in Wilcox? And that's how the idea came around. And then we started that. And then we realized people want to come, but they don't want to go home. So now we have glamping domes, and we can hold about 40 people for the night.
Oh, wow. 40 people for the night. That's pretty
40
good.
people.
So Saturday nights is a pretty big party out there.
So you have Saturday nights are a pretty big party out there, and then you have places for people to stay so they're safe, and then breakfast in the morning?
No, we're not open for breakfast. We open at we do have a farm store that opens where people get stuff, but we're open Wednesday through Sunday for lunch and dinner.
Okay.
Are there any plans for you to do a breakfast? Like a bed and breakfast kind of vibe?
Eventually. I mean, we opened these glamping domes. So they're these hexagonal domes, in the middle of a field, and they've been really, really popular.
They look really cool. Yeah.
And like I said, and since we've opened them, we've just been nonstop. And so at some point, again, we see ourselves more as a destination. And with that, we want to do, obviously offer more, we have room service, things like that, Right. We'll get there eventually.
Nice.
Little steps.
Very cool. So seasonal favorites. I mean, what's your favorite seasonal ingredient right now, and how do you love seeing it prepared?
Right now, we try to use kind of what we grow on site. So right now we have a lot of, we've been using our pistachio trimmings. We have about 700 pistachio trees to smoke with. And it's just I don't know if you ever smoke with pistachio wood, but it's an incredible taste.
Yes. Yeah, I actually had a friend out in Wilcox that just sold his pistachio farm after being there for 40 years.
Yeah.
Great guy.
And we're actually this winter, we're going to do a winter beer that's going to be a slightly smoked beer and smoked with pistachio.
Wow. That sounds
Yeah, it's fun to
Interesting.
try to just see what's around in the area and like use that. So we'll go to our
Right.
neighbors, around us is tons of pecans, tons of pistachios, things like that. So try to use as much local as possible.
So, other than a brewery and a restaurant, then you have the domes. What else do you have that you're sourcing locally from your farms?
Again, we have a dairy.
Yep.
We started a beef program of using our own cows. So we
Okay.
started as a dairy. So obviously all our own milk, cheese, and
Mhm.
all the dairy products come from the farm. But again, now we started raising beef cattle.
Okay.
So our goal is to be as sustainable as possible and as farm to table as possible. We have probably about 10 acres of crops we just grow, for stuff on site. We have 2 big greenhouses for herbs. Growing in Wilcox can be a bit challenging. Not everything grows out there, but we do the best we can. And I'm not a farmer by trade. I'm from Brooklyn originally.
Okay.
So I've probably got more things wrong than I've actually got right, but I think I'm finally starting to get things more right. And
Fair
plus,
enough.
we have a great team up there.
Fair enough. And this is out in Wilcox, so which is really cool. And you have a website, Tirrito Farms, which is great and everything. But I have a question to bring it back to Tucson. What's your favorite local spot in Tucson? You said Zio Pepe. Do you have another favorite spot in Tucson?
I like Tavolino's.
Yes. Okay. What's your favorite dish there?
So when I go out, I generally go for their, I think it's their penne with sausage is a great dish out there. And Zio Pepe makes just phenomenal pizza.
Yes, they do.
Yes.
The story behind their pizza is incredible as well. I mean, it took them 40 times to get that dough just right, and they were going into it. They both love pizza, so they were excited about it. And by the time they were done, they're like, "I don't want to see another pizza for another, three months, maybe years." But they do an amazing job using the local ingredients with the mesquite flour and then heritage grain and stuff. So.
Pizza always just comes down to the dough.
Oh yeah. Well, ingredients. I mean, if you're hitting it right with the sauce, the cheese is something. If you get the right cheese, sure.
If you make it fresh, there was a place in Pennsylvania, Old Forge Pizza.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually get it delivered here on this site called Gold Belly, and it's like everything was made fresh that day. The cheese was made that day. The sauce was made that day. Everything was made that day. And it was hands down some of the best pizza I've ever had.
Right.
Sounds delicious. So if someone was to come to your brewery for lunch and dinner, what would you recommend that they try?
We do again, this is not the cardiologist speaking, but we do a really good prime rib queen cut. That's probably the most popular dish. We also do a sea bass, lamb, stuffed chicken. It just depends what you're interested in. I'd say by hands down, the number one seller is the prime rib.
Awesome.
All right.
Where are you getting your sea bass from? Ooh.
Good question. I can tell you not from our pond.
Okay.
We're one of the few places you can actually go fishing. So we have a fully stocked pond. So we have bass, bluegill, and catfish.
Interesting.
And so some people just come to go fishing.
I'd like to introduce you to one of the owners of Network Outdoors, because they actually have a group of people that would love that as well. Overnight trip plus fishing. I think that's a natural connection there. Oh, it's Cody Peck.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
But no, that's really fun. And do you have fishing equipment for people when they come out, or should they bring their own?
Most people most people who come to us go fishing already have their own equipment. But yeah, we do have a couple poles. The only thing we ask is catch and release and use barbless hooks.
Okay. There you go.
There we go. Nice. Sounds like a night out, a nice restaurant, a brewery, and a catch and release day.
Awesome. Have you ever heard of Arizona sea bass?
No.
Well, we'll have to introduce you to them as well. But no, that's exciting. And it sounds really tasty. Are you currently serving your own beef, or is that a couple of years down the road?
We're kind of getting there with certain things,
Mm-hmm.
but most our beef dough is we get from local.
Fair enough.
And where we're at, there's so many. I mean, there's just so much beef in that, like where we're at.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely some tasty beef.
We just go steal one of our neighbor's cows.
We do not endorse cattle rustling. No. That's fun though.
So what are your plans for the future in the next 2 years for expansion?
Really, we do a lot of events. We do a lot of weddings, things like that. And, from the restaurant standpoint, it's been going really well. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to open a private club room, which is going to be just reservation only.
Okay.
Cigars, whiskeys, things like that.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Again, as a cardiologist, I don't endorse smoking, but
no. Everything in moderation and including moderation sometimes.
Yeah,
yes.
Moderation.
Yeah, it really is. It is true. I mean, you just you have to live your life, and you really do, and you just everything in moderation, and then you're fine.
So we have about 20 seconds left. So I'm your host, Wesley Sorce. We'll be right back with more. This is the Tucson Tasty Show, the tastiest show in town. Thank you to our amazing sponsors, Vero Premium Beef, your financial guy, Cody Peck, Network Outdoors, Local First Arizona, Allegra Marketing, Print and Mail, and stay tasty, Tucson.
Bum, bum, to the boot, oh, rude. To the boot, oh, rude. To the boot, oh, rude.
This is a Bloomberg Money.
We do the food history. So it's about a 2-minute little talk about this day in food history. And I've been practicing all morning, and then I changed it like 15 times, so I'm completely out of practice on it. So it'll be fun. But
I need to find out where we get our sea bass from.
Oh, so yeah, so this Arizona sea bass is actually pretty cool. It's actually grown in a farm north of Casa Grande. It's actually the old tilapia farm out there, and it's a saline spring, so they can't use it for agriculture. So they're growing fish, and it's sea bass. It's barramundi, Asian sea bass, and it's the freshest fish in Arizona because it's right there.
Right.
But they actually cycle the water through. They have the current going constantly, so you don't have any of the contamination that you typically get with the fish. And then so they're constantly fighting. It's really healthy fish because of that. So you get a lot of really good usable protein, big muscles. And then they are using a non-GMO vegetarian diet that's specifically for the fish. And then they're controlling they actually measure the biomatter in the ponds day to day. But then on top of that, to make it more sustainable, they actually flood irrigate the back fields because it's on a huge 100 acres or something like that. And the back fields are flood irrigated, and they grow Bermuda grass. And then they actually harvest it and then feed the cattle around, which then it all goes back into the water table and comes right back up. So it's incredible what they're doing out there. But it's Mainstream is the name of the grower. They don't sell to the public, but Cody is actually the CEO of the Barramundi Group and is doing the local fish. So we can actually get it delivered out to you on a weekly basis.
Cool.
Yeah.
Definitely. We really I'm trying to think where we get it from. I'm really not sure, to be honest. But yeah, that sounds like an option.
Yeah.
It's actually very popular. I was always hesitant about, having fish in in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
But I mean, it's just, people want fish.
Yeah.
Yeah. People want to come out. So it's you got to do what people want.
And I love that sea bass because it's 2 to 3 times more omega-3. So talking about a health or a heart healthy.
It really doesn't taste like fish either.
No.
That's the key.
Yeah.
I don't like fish that tastes like fish.
No. Yeah. When you smell it, when you walk into the restaurant, I usually walk out because it's just gross.
Yeah.
Awesome.
The worst smell is scallops.
Yeah.
And my wife, every time we go out, I'm going to get the scallops. I'm like, you just hate me. Seriously.
You know that 50, you have a 50% chance on scallops if you're actually getting a real scallop or a fake scallop.
I know.
Yeah.
And then the worst one is redfin snapper. 100% of the time in the United States, you're not getting redfin snapper because it covers 200 fish.
A lot of fishes like that. Sushi especially.
292-1320 Arizona Hatters, the oldest hat shop in Arizona.
Now back to the Tucson Tasty Show with your host, Wesley Sorce, on 1030 The Voice.
Yummy, 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 I got love in my tummy, and I feel like I'm loving you.
Welcome back to the Tucson Tasty Show. I'm your host, Wesley Sorce, and hey there, Tucson foodies. Welcome back to another tantalizing episode of the Tucson Tasty Show. Today, we're diving into some flavorful history as we celebrate August 17th. First off, did you know that today is National Nonprofit Day? While it may not be directly food related, it's a wonderful opportunity to highlight the amazing nonprofits right here in Tucson that work directly and tirelessly to combat food insecurity and support our community. Organizations like Mobile Meals and Community Food Bank do incredible work to ensure that everyone has access to nutritious meals. If you're able, consider supporting these local initiatives through donations or volunteering your time. Every bit helps, and together we can make a difference. Now let's take a stroll back in time. On this day in 1815, the world's first recorded recipe for chocolate pudding was published, sparking a love affair with this rich and comforting dessert. Chocolate pudding has since become a favorite treat for many, inspiring countless variations and delicious memories. Fast forward to August 13th, and I know that's a little off from 17th, but we have to look at August 13th, 2015. Tucson's designated as a UNESCO City of Gastronomy. Tucson became the first city in North America to be designated as a UNESCO City of Gastronomy on this date. This recognition highlights Tucson's rich culinary heritage, multicultural influences, and commitment to sustainable food practices. The designation honors local food tradition, including Native American, Mexican, and Sonoran cuisines. And of course, if you're interested in more fun food facts and happenings this month, be sure to check out thetastyshow.com. It's overflowing with delicious details of our food history. So whether you're celebrating National Nonprofit Day by giving back to Tucson's community, or whipping up some chocolate pudding, or enjoying a crunchy chimichanga, let's raise a toast to the diverse food and causes us to all unite. Thank you for tuning in, and keep your appetite ready for more tasty treats coming your way right here on the Tucson Tasty Show. And we have an update from Michael Elefante. How you doing today, Michael?
What's going on?
How is Night Fight? Are you gearing up for a Monday night fight?
Yeah, we're heading over to Corbett's right now. I just got done with my daughter's softball tournament today, so
awesome. Did she win?
Scrambling. No, they lost 2 and tied 1. So we play tomorrow still.
All right.
Yeah, so I'm heading to Corbett's right now as we speak.
Awesome. And so Corbett's 7 p.m. on Monday. Now, who were the first 2 chefs to take home the title, or the next or move forward in the competition from last week?
Yeah, so last week you had Christian. I've been out in the sun since 6:45 this morning, so bar me for not knowing their last names right now. My brain's a little fried.
No worries.
But yeah, Christian won the first fight, did really good. Kind of emerged as a guy that he's got really strong plating, seasons very well. He's going to be one to watch for sure. And then the second fight was a really cool one. We had Chris Burrell, who was a veteran of Night Fight. He's competed 2 years before.
Yep.
Going against one of the Phoenix Night Fight winners from up in Phoenix, and went by the nickname of Tiny. And Chris kind of narrowly beat him. Both chefs brought that one. That was a really good fight too. They'll be going in a couple weeks against each other. Chris Burrell versus Christian. They'll be going against each other. So in a couple weeks. But this week we got a whole new setup, and we got the bar fight starting this week.
Exciting. That's really exciting. And
Yeah,
so we got the bar fight, we got night fights. Everything kicks off at 7 a.m. Better be in your seats by what, 6:30 to make sure you have space, because Tucson night fights becoming very popular.
Yeah, that was the biggest opening we've had. We had 150 people at it. So
150
definitely
people.
want to get to, want to get to Corbett's early. There's parking right next to it. That if you're in Corbett's and you get a ticket, like the parking ticket to park there, they'll validate it for free.
Perfect.
So as long as you're in Corbett's, you get free parking. Yeah. So
wonderful.
Yes,
well, we will.
Bar fight starting off.
Yep.
It's gonna be fun.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you so much for calling in and giving us an update. We'll check back in with night fights next week on the Tucson Tasty Show. And you have a great rest of your weekend. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, will do. You too, brother.
All right.
Good talking to you. All right.
Yeah, who would have thought in Tucson you'd have night chefs that fence each other?
Right. It's a culinary competition, bracketed culinary competition between the chefs of Tucson. And it actually supports the chefs of Tucson. So all the money that they raise from the T-shirts or anything that you get there associated with the night fight, it goes right back to the chefs, which is really cool. But then you also get you get to support those local restaurants that are just coming out of the summer. And the summer is always really difficult here. I mean, it's just... So come out and support Tucson Night Fight and see Michael Elefante and Chef Gary Hickey throw down some pretty cool stuff. All right. So, Sal, sorry for the interruption. I hope you enjoyed the food history,
Yes.
and we'll polish that up a little bit more as we go. But so what's your top tip for home cooks looking to recreate a restaurant level dish in their own kitchen?
I mean, I think, owning a restaurant, one thing I have a new appreciation for is how hard it is to cook the same thing over and over again and make it taste the same.
Right.
And I think, when you're at home, you just need to make something you like and not worry so much about trying to recreate something perfectly.
Agreed. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, every time I make a dish at home, it's a trial and error, and mistakes are made, but it's about continuing to try to do it. One of my favorite dishes to make is beef Wellington, and I made it for Cody and his family a couple weeks ago, and that was a lot of fun. But
poached eggs is another one. I'm like 50-50. Like I'm 50-50. Like sometimes I get every one of them perfect, and other times every one of them looks just horrible.
Fair enough. Yeah, the poached eggs is one thing that I cannot do. And I've tried
I've tried timers, I've tried everything, and it's just sometimes it works, sometimes
have
it
you
doesn't.
tried doing it on a pan with creating more of a steaming effect on them?
I've tried like 10 different types of pans. I had a little fake egg. I had a little fake egg in them.
Oh, the fake eggs, right?
The fake eggs, right. That is supposed to tell you when it's ready. That didn't work either.
Fair. So you're talking about basted eggs with a little bit of water in the pan.
Yes.
Poached eggs are where you're throwing them in a boiling pot of water, and then they kind of float around, and then you're supposed to scoop them out, and they're not supposed to fall apart.
And the inside is supposed to be like
creamy and perfect.
And sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't.
Yeah, most of the time when I do it, it's not. Right. So that's why producer Tina's in charge of the eggs, because she nails it every time. So much so when I go out to eat eggs, I have high expectations from chefs that do it every day, And she's just giving me the
pickiest egg eater.
I am. Well, I don't like the runny white. If you get a runny white and you put it in front of me, I just no. It's send it back. It's raw. But. Let's go for our fun question here. If you were a dish on your menu, what would you be, and what would your vibe say about your personality?
I'd be a pizza.
Pizza?
I mean, I grew up in Brooklyn, and I will say, hands down, the best pizza in the world that comes from New York. Okay. I've had some really good pizza other places, but just the style, I got used to it, but I would be just a simple slice of pizza. Cheese, no pepperoni, no that, just simple cheese pizza.
Fair enough. Have you had the sausage pizza from Rocco's?
Yes. I've had pizza at every place, and Good.
Scale of 1 to 10. See, it's a 10 for me. His
7,
with the
7.
the square cut. You got to get the crispy corners,
Yeah.
and his new place is going to be pretty awesome as well. So, fair enough.
I've heard good things about Penelope's that just opened up. I haven't been there yet.
No, they were downtown for a while.
Well, the one just opened up here.
Yeah,
it's on Speedway, I think.
Colburn Speedway, in the old. It used to be the coffee shop. Then it became a fire truck brewery, and now it is Penelope's. It's in front of the cheap theaters, so it's pretty good. It's a storage place now. It's not a cheap theater. Well, there goes my childhood. Anyways, dating myself there. So in the last 45 seconds of this half, how can people get a hold of you?
Through our website, TirritoFarm.com. We're very active on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Really any of those ways. Call us up, come down, come visit us. It's a lot of fun.
Wonderful. And so you can book directly through the website?
Yep.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Well,
go ahead.
We'll get to you, Susan, after the break.
Yes, we'll get back to Susan Cross from Mexico in a bottle right after this break. So you got to stay through the break because we're going to check out some a really cool event. So I'm Wesley Sorce, your host of the Tucson Tasty Show. We'll be right back. Special thank you to our sponsors: Vero Premium Beef, Your Financial Guy Cody Peck, Network Outdoors, Local First Arizona, Legra Marketing, Print and Mail, and thank you, Sal, from Tirrito Farms. And stay tasty, Tucson. Hello, this is Wesley Sorce with the Tucson Tasty Show. With every tasty bite from BEPremiumBeef.com, you get premium beef flavor. From the amazing ground beef to the melt-in-your-mouth ribeye steaks, every ounce is exceptionally aged for more than 21 days. Giving Vero...
We do a hot honey dill pickle pizza.
Okay.
But it's not our focus, but we do good pizza.
That sounds good. Hot honey dill pickle. Did I hear that right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It's popular. It's too hot for me.
Okay.
I will be avoiding that pizza.
Yeah,
he doesn't like pickles.
It's a weird combination, but it's actually pretty popular.
He's very picky about his eggs. I don't eat pickles, so
I'm extraordinarily picky about my eggs. But I don't like eggs. I actually don't really like eggs. So if they're going to be cooked and when I eat them, they better be perfect.
Yeah.
I know I need the protein and the fat and brain food and all that stuff.
Farm fresh eggs are amazing. Like we have probably about 100 chickens, and I'll tell you the difference is
beautiful,
unbelievable.
Perfect.
What chickens do you have?
Just variety. Yeah. We incubate them every year, so we just keep, and then we add in like a couple new breeds. Just we probably have more roosters now.
Fair enough. So we have Susan from across from Mexico in a bottle that we're going to go through the last quarter or the last segment with. You're more than welcome to stay and ask some questions, but you don't have to. Welcome back to the Tucson Tasty Show. I'm your host, Wesley Sorce, and we're having a great show. If you have a question, please call in at 520-790-2040, or you can actually text us right to or comment right on our YouTube or Facebook page, and we will make sure we address that question. So now we have Susan Cross of Mexico in a...
Hang on, the phone is acting up. We'll see if we can get her back.
Yeah. Well, it looks like we're having they're getting some stuff fixed, but we'll have her back in a second.
Well, let's get a little history on what mezcal is while we wait.
Well, sure. But why don't we talk about what Mexico in a Bottle is first? Because Mexico in a Bottle is actually an event that happens in Phoenix every year. And it's a pretty cool event because it highlights all the tequilas, mezcal, bacanora, and anything in between as well. So, but you want to know about mezcal?
You had mezcal on the paper, so I was trying to help you out here.
So, the question is, what is the most unique mezcal featured this year? Do you know what the most unique mezcal is featured? No,
I don't. Susan. I don't.
It's okay.
I was trying to help you out, get you some content going.
I get tequila, mezcal, and sotil confused.
Really? Okay. Well, sotil?
Sotil is very, because we've aged beer in Sotil barrels, and it's very similar. It kind of tastes like tequila.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's correct.
She needs to call us back, but I don't know if she's figured it out or not.
Okay. Well, hopefully we can get Susan to call us back here. But
Why is it mezcal more kind of smoky?
so it's actually the so you have the traditional Mexico drink that was a ceremonial drink that is very close to tequila. It was actually made with the agave. It was it's a creamy white color, and it's like radiator fluid. Really, I mean, it's high proof and it's just yeah. And then Bacanora came about, and the reason the Bacanora came about was because you had the Spanish that came over and showed the Aztecs and everyone how to distill their alcohol. So then you had the distilled alcohol, and then you have mezcal. So Bacanora is really the missing link between the two, and everybody's like, "Well, what's Bacanora?" Well, Bacanora is very close to well, no, it's essentially a moonshine. Is really what it's picked up as nowadays. But since they've legalized it, there's a lot of really amazing Bacanora makers. In fact, this one's got to be one of my favorites, and that's the Montrose. And it was actually made. They've been using the same recipe for 300 years. They stopped making it, and they started making it again when it became legal. And we have Susan back. How you doing, Susan?
I'm good, Wesley. How are you?
Good. I'm just rambling about tequila history. So thank you very much for saving me. So tell us what Mexico in a bottle is.
Oh, hello?
Yes. Can you tell us what the Mexico in a bottle is?
Oh, yes. Sorry. We keep on getting cut off. Mexico in a bottle is I like to call it a non-tequila agave spirits tasting event. Originally, when we first started the event in San Francisco 10 years ago, it was completely dedicated to mezcal. And since then, as we have seen the popularity of mezcal grow, it has opened the door to other agave spirits like Raicilla and like Bacanora. So we have embraced all of that. And I am very happy that we have the name Mexico in a bottle that kind of is able to just give the breadth of the craft spirits that are coming from Mexico into the market. Mm-hmm. So in addition to the agave spirits, we also have Mexican rums, Mexican whiskeys, Mexican gins, sometimes tepaches, and we even one time did a Mexican wine event. And yeah, it's just been a great way to introduce U.S. consumers and industry people in bars and restaurants to just how incredible the spirits are that are coming out of Mexico.
That's exciting. So when is it this year in Phoenix?
It is September 22nd, so it is coming up.
Yes, it is. And can you tell us what's the most unique mezcal featured this year, and what sets it apart from others?
Well, I can't say any one mezcal is more unique than others, because the beautiful thing about mezcal is that they're all unique.
Fair.
Because much like wine, it is based on a harvest year or a harvest time. No one expression tastes like another. So you might have a favorite brand, and they have an espadín, and then as soon as another batch is made and comes out, that second espadín batch will not taste like the first espadín batch. And likewise with all of the different types of agaves that mezcal is made from.
Can we get tastings at this event?
Absolutely. It would be cruel to say, come to this event where we would only talk about mezcal. So yes, we will have more than 50 brands at the event. And the way it's structured is a walk-around tasting. And so people will be able to sip on different types of expressions throughout the event. Then they'll understand what I'm saying about how no one mezcal tastes like another. There's very, very, very tiny sips, but I still caution people to be mindful of the fact that we are talking about a spirit that is usually over 45% ABV.
Fair.
Yep. So how does Mexico in a Bottle contribute to the local community or support Mexican heritage in Arizona?
Well, we hope by just raising general awareness, and also working with local restaurants and bars at the event, as well as we have a program that's in collaboration with Del Maguey Mezcal, where at each of our events we work with a local artist. In this case, in Phoenix, we are working with Cora Quiroz, who is going to be creating a piece of art specifically for the event.
Oh, wow.
And it will have the guidance that we give to any artist we work with is how does mezcal or agave, how do you relate to it? And then they can create either painting, painting, photography, sculpture. We've worked with artists who work with different mediums. And, and the idea behind it, like incorporating art and food into the event is so that the spirits are never presented as just another alcohol, but it's part of a larger cultural heritage. The thing we love about doing the event in Phoenix, in Arizona, is because there's that shared border with Sonora, the shared desert. There's the shared agave, but also really being able to highlight Bacanora at the event.
So a question for first timers. So for someone attending for the first time, what tips do you have to make the most of the event?
The event goes for 3 hours. You want to take your time. Obviously, nobody's tasting everything, and but it's really an opportunity for people to speak directly to the brand representative or brand owner, and in some cases, when possible, the producer of the actual spirit, to really ask the deeper questions and satisfy the curiosity at the top of your head. How is this being made? What's the favorite part of the process for any of the producers? What are specific? Where is the agave coming from? And to really engage in the conversation, we like to say that Mexico in a Bottle is a fun educational event because you really do need to talk to people. There's no walking up to a table and walking away with, a sip of something without engaging with the person at the table. I like it. And, there's also food there. So you can kind of space out your time and nibble on some of the delicious food from restaurants. We're pretty excited this year to be working with Chico Malo, Provecho, Cocina Adamex, Taco Boys, and Carry On Bar will be there. And, they have this, it's a new bar in Phoenix, and the concept that they have is kind of changing up their cocktails based on a destination. So I don't have the details yet of what they're going to be coming up with.
Thank you so much for joining us, Susan. And we'll see you. We'll have to have you back on the show. Thank you for joining us today on the Tucson Tasty Show. We'll see you next week from 3 to 4. We'll have Lambre Pizza La Lina. Thank you to our sponsors and guests, Sal Tirrito, Susan of Mexico in a Bottle, Vera Oral Premium Beef, your financial guy, Cody Peck, Network Outdoors, Local First Arizona, Allegra Marketing, Print and Mail. Thanks for tuning in to the Tucson Tasty Show. Remember to savor every delicious bite and keep those taste buds excited. Until next time, stay tasty, Tucson.
He was singing, bye, bye, Miss America. Why don't we shed it to the levee?